what number one song has the record for highest chorus to verse ratio?
What do you mean?
Like, it's mostly chorus, and by, like, a lot. If I were to guess, I would guess, yes, Enjoy. Wow, the controller drift. I would guess it's Enemy by Imagine Dragons. Let me play.
I would think something like a Panic at the Disco, because the verses are so short.
Come on. No, I need the chorus. It's gonna be weird. Moby Dick 3, it just starts with Imagine Dragons.
Oh, it's already recording. I didn't even realize.
No, I need the verse. Okay. It says how long the chorus is. Come on. Any day now. Oh my god, I can still go. Look out for yourself. Okay. Yes. Right there. Okay. So 128 to... I'm gonna guess 144. And there it is. That right there.
Yeah, 141.
Yeah, 141. So it went from 128 to 141.
And then the rest of it is just chorus
So
for a
it's-
minute and 50 seconds.
So wait, how long is that one? That's 13 seconds. It's a 13-second verse.
And the rest of the song is basically just the chorus.
Wow, that's...
Again.
Well, I mean, Jid's verse exists. That's about it.
It's not that long either.
Yeah. Well, no, it's... I mean, it's like 40... It's almost like half as long as the chorus.
Really?
Yeah, I think so.
I thought it was shorter.
Okay. Mobert Dickinson.
Can I eat some of your pizza?
Oh, of course, my dear boy.
Oh, wonderful. I should have realized that I was hungry.
Is she a man? Yeah, again, it's like you go from full to hungry in the span of like 3 hours.
Yeah, it's usually how it works.
Yeah, well, not for me. I can eat endlessly at like a diner or something.
I am like so jealous of that.
Really?
Yeah.
Jessie was too, and then she was like, she got so annoyed by it. But yeah, I was able to just eat, and oh fuck, I don't know where we are. And maybe.
Chapter 4.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, we finished chapter 3. Yeah, I can eat like endlessly at a diner and then just be fine. I mean, not mentally. Mentally, I always want food, but physically, I'll be fine for like days. and then I could just go. Yeah, I eat like a wild animal. Just like food. Okay, good.
That's how you eat? Those are the noises that you make when you eat?
Yes, half-made Arnold Palmer. That is how I eat. How long did it take us to get to the book? 3 minutes. Boy, oh boy.
3 minutes
I
of
found
shit.
Queequeg's arm thrown over me in
Well,
the most
I mean,
loving,
it's better than 10 hours, if you know what I
manner.
mean.
You had almost thought I had been
Remember
his
that joke?
wife. The counterpane was of
I said that we could have 10 hours of us pooping and recording, and since no one's watching, it wouldn't matter. It's only when you get successful that people are like, so what's this video?
I forgot you
A
said.
figure, no two parts of which were of one precise shade, owing, I suppose, to his keeping his arm at sea unmethodically in sun and shade, his shirt sleeves irregularly rolled up at various times. This same arm of his, I say, looked for all the world like a strip of that same patchwork quilt. Indeed, partly lying on it as the arm did when I first awoke, I could hardly tell it from the quilt, they so blended their hues together, and it was only by the sense of weight and pressure that I could tell that Queequeg was hugging me.
Aww.
My sensations
This
were
is so gay.
strange. Let me try
Do
to
you like
explain them. When I was a child, I well remember a somewhat similar circumstance that befell me. Whether it was a reality or a dream, I never
Back in
could
grade school.
entirely settle. The circumstance was this.
No one that matters.
I had been cutting up
Okay.
some
It's
timber or
Discord,
other.
I don't know
I
who
think it was
I
trying
don't
to
know.
crawl up the chimney as I had seen a little sweep do a few days previous, and my stepmother, who somehow or other was all the time whipping me or sending me to bed supperless,
Okay.
my mother
Supperless.
dragged me by the legs out of the chimney and packed me off to bed, though it was only 2 o'clock in the afternoon of the 21st June, the longest day in the year in our hemisphere. I felt dreadfully, but there was no help for it, so upstairs I went to my little room in the 3rd floor, undressed myself as slowly as possible so as to kill time, and with a bitter sigh got between the sheets. I lay there
Queequeg had his way with
dismally
me.
calculating that 16 entire hours must elapse before I could hope for a resurrection. 16 hours in bed. The small of my back ached to think of it.
After quick
There was
16-hour
the
session.
sun shining in at the window, and a great rattling of coaches in the streets, and the sound of gay voices all over the
Pick
house.
it up! Pick it up,
Worse
kid!
and worse.
Sound of
At
gay
last
voices.
I got up, dressed, and softly going down in my stockinged feet, sought out my stepmother, and suddenly threw myself at her feet, beseeching her as a particular favor to give me a good slippering for my
You
misbehavior.
never beseech me
Anything
anymore.
indeed
What
but
did you say?
condemning me
Give
to
me
lie
a
at
good
bed, such an
slippering for his
unendurable length
misdeeds, or whatever the hell he said.
But she was the best and most conscientious of stepmothers, and back I had to go to my room. For several hours I lay there, broad awake, feeling a great deal worse than I have ever done since, even from the greatest subsequent misfortunes. At last I must have fallen into a troubled nightmare of a doze. Slowly waking from it,
How'd you sleep? Oh, I had a troubled nightmare of a
dreams.
doze.
I was like,
I
what
opened
the
my
fuck? Why are you
eyes.
saying it like?
And the before
What the
sunlit
fuck does that
room
mean,
was
Kobe
now
Bryant?
wrapped in outer darkness. Instantly I felt a shock running through all my frame. Nothing was to be seen, and nothing was to be heard, but a supernatural hand seemed placed in mine. My arm hung over the counterpane, and
all
the
that white
nameless,
stuff, oh, it was a supernatural
unimaginable
hand.
silent form or phantom to which the hand belonged seemed closely seated by my bedside. For what seemed ages, piled on ages, I lay there frozen with the most awful fears, not daring to drag away my hand, yet ever thinking that if I could but stir it 1 single inch, the horrid spell would be broken. I knew not how this consciousness at last glided away from me. Waking in the morning, I shudderingly remembered it all, and for days and weeks and months afterwards I lost myself in confounding attempts to explain the mystery. Nay, to this very hour, I often puzzle myself with it. Now, take away the awful fear, and my sensations at feeling the supernatural hand in mine were very similar in their strangeness to those which I experienced on waking up and seeing Queequeg's pagan arm thrown round me.
What?
But at length all
Like-
the
He
past
has a
night's
pagan
events
arm?
Like
soberly
Jesse's arms?
occurred one by one in fixed reality, and then I
Me
lay
3 years
only
ago?
alive to the
My arms?
comical predicament. For though I tried to move
He's
his
got tarot
arm,
tattoos.
unlock
That'd
his
make it a
bridegroom
pagan arm.
clasp, yet sleeping as he was, he still hugged me tightly as though naught but death should
Oh,
part
this
us
is, isn't
twain.
this nice?
I now strove to rouse him. Queequeg. But his only answer was a snore.
I don't think he was
rolled over,
answering
my
that.
neck feeling as if it were in a horse collar, and suddenly felt a slight scratch.
Felt a
Throwing
slight-
aside the
slight what?
counterpane, there lay the tomahawk sleeping by the
I don't know.
savage's side as if it were a hatchet-faced baby. A pretty
What?
A what?
thought I. A bed here in a strange house in the broad day with a cannibal and a tomahawk.
He's just
Quick,
1 month
quick.
old. Oh, he's a
In the name of
hatchet-faced
goodness,
baby.
quick, wake. At length, by dint of much wriggling and loud and incessant expostulations upon the unbecomingness of his hugging a fellow male in that matrimonial sort of style, I succeeded in extracting
Expostulations.
What the
and
fuck
presently
does that
he drew
mean?
back,
God, we never
shook
fucking
himself all over
expostulate
like a
anymore.
dog just from the water, and sat up in bed, stiff as a pikestaff, looking at me and rubbing his eyes as if he did not altogether remember.
I
Which
know
part of him
me
is
there.
stiff as a pike
So
I
in
know what a
consciousness
pikestaff
of knowing
is. What a
something
weird
about
thing to
me
describe
seemed
even
slowly
then.
dawning over him.
God,
Meanwhile,
I'm
I
floppy
lay
as a
quietly
noose.
Eyeing him, having serious misgivings now, and bent upon narrowly observing so
I'm as
curious a
keen as lethal injection.
Well,
That's the
his
modern
mind seemed
equivalent.
made up touching the character of his bedfellow, and he became, as it were, reconciled to the fact. He jumped out upon the floor, and by certain signs and sounds
I'm
gave
as
me to
dense as a
understand that
George
if it
Bush
pleased
in the
me,
office
he would dress
while being
first,
a 20-year-old
and
man
leave
in
me to dress
2002.
afterward, leaving the whole
What?
apartment to myself.
As in, like, he sent our young
Thanks,
boys to
I-
die.
This is a very civilized.
It's like, how are the ways that you could be
The truth is,
executed
these
by the
savages
government?
have
This,
an
oh, well, that
sense of
was
justice.
controversial.
Which you will. It is marvelous how essentially polite they are.
Oh, no, now I can't do the Kobe Bryant joke. I'd be like, what the fuck is he talking about? Because I wasn't listening. It could make total sense. We just don't know.
Staring at him from the bed and watching all his toilette motions. For the time, my
What?
curiosity.
I should make a little
getting the
thing where I
better
write down
of
every
reading.
new word I hear in this book.
Nevertheless, a man like Queequeg you don't see every day. He and his ways were well worth unusual regarding. He commenced dressing at top
I need to
by
say
donning
that.
his beaver
You know,
hat,
you and your
very
ways
tall
are worth
one by the
unusual
by,
regarding.
and then, still minus his trousers, he hunted up his boots. What under the
Where are
heavens
these
he did,
boots?
for I cannot tell that his next movement was to crush himself,
What?
boots in hand and hat on, under the bed. When, from sundry violent gaspings and strainings, I inferred he was hard at work booting himself, though by no law of
Is this like
propriety that I ever heard of is any
self-flagellation or
man
whatever? How
required
do you
to be
say it?
prided
Yeah,
on
Flagellation?
putting on
Flagellation?
flagellation.
But
No, I
Queequeg,
think he's
you
booting
see, was a
himself.
creature in
Yeah,
the
what the fuck does that
transition,
mean?
neither caterpillar nor butterfly. He was just enough civilized to show off his outlandishness in the strangest possible manners. His education was not yet completed. He was an undergraduate. If he had not been a small
That's a
degree
surprisingly
civilized,
normal way to
he
say
very
that.
probably would not have troubled himself with boots at all. But then if he had not been still a savage, he never would have dreamt of getting under the bed to put them on.
So he's putting
At
on
last
his
he
boots.
emerged with his hat
under
very
the
much
bed.
dented and crushed down over his eyes, and began creaking and limping about the room, as if not being much accustomed to boots, his pair of damp, wrinkled cowhide ones, probably not made to order either, rather pinched and tormented him at the first go off of a bitter cold morning. Seeing now that there were no curtains to the window and that the street being very narrow, the house opposite commanded a plain view into the room, and observing more and more the indecorous figure that Queequeg made, staving about with little else but his hat and boots on, I begged him as well as I could to accelerate his toilet somewhat, and particularly to get into his pantaloons as soon as possible. He replied,
Addison, I'm late for work!
and
Oh, let me
precautions.
translate this into a thing she can understand.
Any Christian would have washed his face.
Accelerate your toilets
Queequeg, to my
and
face,
equip your
himself
pantaloons.
with restricting his emotions to his chest,
Or I'm gonna give you
arms,
quite the
and
throlloping.
He then donned his waistcoat, and taking up a piece of hard soap on the washstand center table,
I think I
dipped
mixed
it
up
into
wall
water
with
and
throttle.
commenced lathering his face.
Thralloping. That's why it was so
I was
funny. It was
watching
like,
to see
that's
where
not
he kept
even.
his razor, when lo and behold, he takes the harpoon from the bed corner, slips out the long wooden stock, unsheathes the head, wets it a little on his boot,
Okay,
and striding up to the bit of mirror against the wall,
This has gotta be a
begins a
euphemism.
vigorous scraping, or rather harpooning, of his cheeks.
What?
And this is using
His
Rogers'
penis cheeks.
Afterwards, I wondered the less at this operation when I came to know of what fine steel the head of a harpoon is made, and how exceedingly sharp the long straight edges of it is kept.
Let me help you out there.
The rest of his toilet was soon achieved, and he proudly marched out of the room.
What does that mean? What does that mean? The rest of his toilet was soon achieved?
Marshal's baton.
I don't know what that means.
Okay,
Chapter 5.
that was really short.
I
4
quickly followed
minutes.
suit and descending into the barroom accosted the grinning
Wow,
landlord very
we did 3
pleasantly.
chapters today,
I
aren't we,
cherished no
productive?
malice towards him, though he had been skylarking with me not a little in the matter of my bedfellow. However, a good laugh is a mighty good thing, and rather too scarce a good thing, the more's the pity. So
Okay,
if
I can
any
deal
one
with that.
man
I
has
understood.
owned proper
Yeah,
This
I-
drift
I-
is
I-
caught.
stuff for a good joke
As soon as we
now,
start
but
talking about
I would
oiled
not
up
be
harpoon
backward.
cheeks and
Let him
accelerating
cheerfully
toilets.
allow himself to spend and be spent
Was this
that
book
way.
translated from another language?
No, this is all English.
Oh, okay. Oh, jeez, Rick, it doesn't make any
He's more
sense.
than that
Jeez.
man than you perhaps think for. The bar room was now full of the boarders who had been dropping in the night previous, and whom I had not as yet had a good look at. They were nearly all whalemen, chief mates and second mates and third mates and sea carpenters and sea coopers and sea blacksmiths and harpooneers and shipkeepers.
Jesus,
A
we get it. Oh
brown
my
and
god.
brawny
I
company.
think this book
Bosky
might be about the
beards,
pioneers.
An unshorn, shaggy set, all
Old
wearing
West
monkey
horses.
jackets and morning gowns. You could pretty plainly tell how long each one had been ashore. This young fellow's healthy cheek is like a sun-toasted pear in hue, and with
Them's
seem to
flirting
smell
words.
That, yeah, that's what I was
he
thinking.
cannot have been 3 days landed from his Indian voyage. That man next him looks a few shades lighter. You might say a touch of satinwood is in him. In the complexion of a
Just like that
third,
woman at the
still
diner that said,
lingers
"Oh, he's got a
tropic
touch of
calm,
black in him."
but slightly detached and all. He
Like, wait,
doubtless
what?
has carried whole weeks ashore.
I'm flattered, but what? And
Thank-
should I be?
Thank you.
Queequeg, which,
I don't know my
harbored with
harmonica.
various tints,
Need to go grab
seemed
it.
like the Andes' western slope. to show forth in one array contrasting climates, zone by zone.
Plug it in, my computer.
Grub
Hey,
ho!
baby.
Now cried the landlord, flinging open a door, and in we went to breakfast. They say that men who have seen the world thereby become quite at ease in manner, quite self-possessed in company. Not always, though. Ledyard, the great New England traveler, and Mungo Park, the Scotch one, of all men, they
Mungo
possessed
Park?
the least assurance in the parlor.
It's just
But
his name.
perhaps
I
the
don't know
mere
what's that.
crossing of
Mungo
Siberia in a sledge drawn
Park.
by dogs, as
Okay.
Ledyard
Yeah, like
did,
Naomi Park.
or the
Mungo.
taking a
her
long
dad.
solitary walk on
Mungo.
an
Mungo.
ecstatic Negro heart of Africa, which was the sum of poor Mungo's performances. This kind of travel, I say, may not be the very best mode of attaining a high social
Our
polish.
little village had
Still,
experienced
for the
much
most part, that
Mongolization
sort of
in the
thing is
prior
to be had
decades.
anywhere. These reflections just here are occasioned by the circumstance that after we were all seated at the table, and I was preparing to hear some good stories about whaling, to my no small surprise,
Just
nearly
imagine like
every
drinking
man
water splashing
maintained
on
a
his face.
profound
Like I'm prepared for
silence.
whaling stories.
And not only that, but they looked embarrassed. Yes, here were a set of sea dogs, many of whom, without the slightest bashfulness, had boarded great whales on the high seas, entire strangers to them, and dueled them dead without winking. And yet here they sat at a social breakfast table, all of the same calling, all of kindred tastes, looking round as sheepishly at each other as though they had never been out of sight of some sheepfold among the Green Mountains. A curious sight. These bashful bears, these timid warrior whalemen.
They're like, would you shut up? He's saying it all out loud.
They're all just staring at him like, what the fuck is this guy talking about?
They're all just wearing t-shirts. These bashful shores. These recruited
brave
laymen.
bears.
Yeah.
These-
His
Whaling
greatest admirer
warriors.
could not have cordially justified
He-
his
It's cut to 8 hours. It's night, and he's like,
just like-
he's invisible fella. Oh wait, they're gone.
reaching over the table with it to the imminent
invisible.
jeopardy of many heads, and grappling the beefsteaks towards him.
What?
Certainly very coolly done by him, and everyone knows that when
Could you grapple a few slices of bacon?
Can you grapple that beefsteak? by the way,
Grappling the beefsteaks. Hold on, let's see how long this book could last without saying something
Coffee and
hilarious.
hot rolls and applied his undivided attention to beefsteaks.
Oh, well, there you go. He applied his undivided attention. Just imagine some guy like just staring, like death staring
He
at a
is
piece
so
of meat.
focused on those beefsteaks.
Oh my god! Wow, that flew by.
When I
This was only
sallied
like
out
the
for a
caterpillar.
stroll.
All right, chapter 6, I think.
Chapter
Yeah.
6.
Let's see how long
Let's-
we're gonna
yeah.
make it.
The street. If I had been astonished at first catching a glimpse
So
of
minus
so
5 seconds.
outlandish an individual as Queequeg circulating among the polite society of a civilized town, that astonishment soon departed upon taking my first daylight stroll through the streets of New Bedford. In
Okay.
thoroughfares nigh the docks, any considerable seaport will frequently offer to view the queerest-looking nondescripts from foreign parts. Even in Broadway and Chestnut Streets, Mediterranean mariners will sometimes jostle the affrighted ladies. Regent Street is not unknown to Lascars and Malays, and at Bombay in the Apollo Green, live Yankees have often scared the natives. But New Bedford beats all Water Street and Wapping. In these last mentioned
It's
haunts,
playing
you
with
see
fire.
sailors, but in New Bedford, actual cannibals stand chatting at street corners, savages outright, many of whom yet carry on their bones unholy flesh. It makes a stranger stare. But besides the Fijians, Tongataboars, Aramangoans, Penangians, and Brigians,
Okay,
and
these are just
besides
names.
the wild specimens of the whaling craft which unheeded reel about the streets, you will see other sights still more curious, certainly more comical. There weekly arrive in this town scores of green Vermonters and New Hampshire men, all athirst for gain and glory in the fishery. They are mostly young, of stalwart frames, fellows who have felled forests and now seek to drop the axe and snatch the whale lance. Many are as
That's-
green as the Green Mountains.
Okay.
I wish there was like a website that Moby Dickificated sentences. So it's like, what are you doing? Oh, I think I'm gonna quit my job in the lumber profession and maybe go whaling.
Sailor belt and sheath
He
knife.
felled trees
Here comes
and he
another
seeks
with
to
a
drop the
sou'wester
axe
and
and
a
acquire
bombazine
the whaling
cloak.
lance.
Whale, yeah, that's what he
No
said.
town-bred dandy will compare with a country-bred one. I mean, a downright.
I made it pretty far.
bumpkin dandy.
They were talking about like locations and
Yeah,
people.
so it's just kinda dull, but, you know.
Yeah, sit this guy
hands.
down at a dinner table or
Now,
like
a
have
country
him
dandy
talk to
like
someone
this
and
takes
he
it into
ease
his
off.
head a distinguished reputation and joins the great whale fishery. You should see the comical things he does upon reaching the seaport. In bespeaking his sea outfit, he orders bell buttons to his waistcoats, straps to his canvas trousers. Ah, poor hayseed, how bitterly will burst those straps in the first howling gale, when thou art driven, straps, buttons and all.
I hate it when my
down
straps
throat
break
of
during the
tempest.
howling gale.
But think not that this
Worst time for them to break.
only harpooneers,
After I just got
cannibals,
new
and
bell
pumpkins
buttons.
to show her visitors. Not at all. Still, New Bedford is a queer place. Had it not been
Yes!
evidently.
the land would this day perhaps have been in as howling condition as the coast of Labrador. As it is, parts of her backcountry are enough to
You might be
frighten one.
confusing
They
it
look
with
so
Germany. Christ, those people are
The
naked
town
half the
itself
time there.
is perhaps
Go there
the
in June and
weirdest
it's
place
just like,
to
oh,
live
so
in
much
all New England.
That's
penis!
what Luke told me.
Yeah, Luke told me the same thing.
But not like Canaan, a land also of corn.
Yeah, I
and
think
olive.
Luke was like,
The streets
no,
are
I
not
support all
paved
that,
with
obviously, but I'm
lawns
like, this is a bit
time
much.
to baste them with fresh eggs. Yet in spite of this, nowhere in all America will you find more patrician-like houses, parks, and gardens more opulent than in New Bedford. Whence came they? How planted upon this once scraggy scoria of a country? Go and gaze upon the iron emblematical harpoons round yonder lofty mansion, and your question will be answered.
Well, that's good.
All
I'm
these
so
great
glad.
houses and
Honey,
flowery
I don't know what to
gardens
do about
came
the
from
rent, so I'm gonna go look at some
Pacific and
harpoons.
Indian Oceans.
Oh, okay,
One and
honey.
all, they were
I hope you find your
harpooned
answer.
and dragged up hither from the bottom of the sea. Can Herr Alexander perform a feat like that? In New Bedford, fathers, they say, give whales for dowers to their daughters and portion off their nieces with a few porpoises apiece. You must go to New Bedford to see a brilliant wedding. For they say they have reservoirs of oil in every house and every night recklessly burn their lengths in spermaceti candles. In summertime,
There's sperm candles, Addison.
Yeah,
Get used to
yeah.
it.
fine maples,
God, such a
long
woman.
avenues of
You don't know about the
green and gold,
spermaceti candles.
Oh, my bad, Kennedy.
high in air, the beautiful and bountiful
I'll become
horse
more acquainted
chestnut,
with the
candelabra
spermaceti.
lights proffer the passerby their tapering upright cones of congregated
Oh, what does
blossoms.
this room smell like?
So
Oh, let me light a
the
candle.
first
No, don't!
district of New Bedford has superinduced bright terraces of flowers upon the barren refuse rocks thrown aside at creation's final day. And the women of New Bedford, they bloom like their own red roses.
Oh, he cannot be talking
The
about
roses
women
only
when
bloom in
he's
summer,
freaking out about
whereas the
sleeping with
fine
a man.
carnation of their cheeks is perennial as sunlight in the seventh heavens.
Fall in
Elsewhere,
love
match
with
that bloom of
Lupe.
theirs he cannot, save in Salem.
And Queequeg's here for
They
it.
tell me
Yeah.
the young girls
God, what a
breathe
good
such
guy.
musk
I
that
wish he'd get
sailors
under my
would
bed,
smell
put on
them
his
miles
boots.
offshore,
I wish he'd
as though
boot
they were
himself
drawing
under
nigh
my bed.
odorous Moluccas.
Self-fagulate, that's what they call it. Oh no, I racism, but for gay people.
I gay racism. Oh no.
The seatbelt was racist towards fat people. Oh no, we keep making 20-minute ones.
Oh, is that?
Nah, whatever. I want to go listen to pedophiles.
Oh
As in
yeah.
Lolita. So maybe we have one day. We make 4 videos. This is the new schedule. We make 4 videos, and then we get a day off. So we made 4 1984 ones, I believe.
Yeah.
This is our 3rd Moby Dick. And then we could do that, and then we have to make. And then we get a day off, and then we make 4 Lolitas.
Yeah.
And then so out of 15 days, that's a total of 12 videos. So out of 30 days, that's 24. So that's 24 a month times 12, which is 240 plus 48. So that'd be It'd be about $290 a year. Yeah.
Oh jeez, yeah.
Yeah, that's
not too
pretty
bad.
good. And we could also just do extra ones if we ever have spare time. We can
Yeah.
just start just random like we can
Listening
upload.
to like a random.
Yeah. Oh, that is a good idea. Like a modern. Again, we're not making any money, so we could just listen to like icebreaker stuff.
Yeah, we should.
Like,
that would be great.
Like
That
I
would
need to
be
find
so
the most
funny.
ridiculous book there. Like,
Well, I don't think it could be too graphic though, because I feel like it'd get.
oh, who cares? Still not
it'd get
making money.
demonetized. Okay, well,
Well, I mean,
we can still just listen to it. 'cause
yeah,
that'd be
unless
fun.
it's channel strike worthy, that'd be funny. I don't think they give channel strike to people. Well, maybe I'm not sure. Okay, well, yeah.